In music news, we have a new band getting a sign-off from an older band. We have a fan favorite band adding a brand new fan favorite band to their US tour. And then we have a new band that's full of a bunch of dudes from older bands putting out new music. Welcome, nerds, to the music news for the week. This is a chunk taken out of the much larger full-length show over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Here in the music section, we like to talk about recent releases, upcoming releases, as well as tour dates being announced, festivals being announced, just regular music-associated news and the whatnot. This week in news, this stuff happened. So all of that and a fair bit more. We have to start things off in follow-ups. We actually do have a follow-up this time around, and that has to do with Kim Dracula, the album that he has been promoting for some time now with the last, I think, 4 now singles. Actually, no, I think he just released another single, which would make 5 if I'm counting correctly. The name of the album is A Gradual Decline in Morale. It is now set for a September 14th release. There is a video promo for it that is linked down in the description. Go check it out. It's actually kind of cool. And yeah, once this record comes out, we'll probably be talking about it. But that is all we have for follow-ups. So let's talk about new music, shall we? New music. This week, we're starting things off with the new single from Under Oath. This is a solo single. There is no record attached to it. The name of the song is Lifeline Drowning. Strangely electronic take on what we know from Under Oath. Definitely a lot less chaotic than I remember this band. It has been some time since I've actually listened to Under Oath because they just were never one of the bands that really did much for me. And this is not changing any minds, I feel like. This is so dramatically different from their original sound that I feel like it's and dramatically different in an unexpected direction, I guess is a way to put that. That I think that this very potentially could be alienating even current Under Oath fans. So if you've heard the new track and you disagree or you agree or whatever, I really want to hear from you because again, not really an Under Oath fan, looking for the opinion of legit Under Oath fans. Let's talk about that in the comments section down below or over on the social medias. Again, this is going to everybody, so maybe you're on one of the audio outlets and there is no comment section down below. Either way, hit me up. Let's have that conversation. Moving on. From there, we have a new track from the Smashing Pumpkins. This is called Spellbinding, and when the hell did the Smashing Pumpkins start making happy music? That's my question. I mean, it's produced fine. It's very strange hearing Billy Corgan's nasal delivery that still sounds pretty whiny and pretty sad boy kind of, but then over like very bright and upbeat music that the juxtaposition just really is doing strange things in my brain. Again, I don't know that this is gonna win over any new fans, and honestly I think this is only for hardcore Smashing Pumpkins fans, just because they've done so much better in the past. The last record I really dug from these guys was the Ava Adore record, and it was phenomenal. This, and most of the stuff that we've been listening to recently from the Pumpkins, just phoning it in, I feel like, in a lot of ways, especially this new track. So I would say steer clear of the new Pumpkins unless you're a diehard fan. Then we have As in Hell, Fall of the Loyal Warrior. As in Hell is the band, Fall of the Loyal Warrior is the song. And this band actually has a really interesting past, specifically because the dude from Volbeat, Michael Paulson, he is the guitar player in this death metal band. And not just that, but it's actually pretty damn good. Say what you will about Volbeat, they always have stellar production value. Songwriting ability kind of wavers. They've got some really catchy, really good stuff, and then they've got some really kind of cringy, just not great, not gonna stick around kind of stuff. Is in the realm of death metal, I would say that As in Hell has a lot more staying power than most of the Volbeat stuff. There definitely is some great Volbeat tracks out there, but As in Hell sounds much more solid. If this first single is anything to go off of, but yeah, this is a lot of fun, man. This honestly could get people into death metal a little bit. I mean, if you're opposed to the abrasive vocals, probably not, but if you might want to start dipping your toe into something that is called death metal, then there's really not many better places to start than this band, As in Hell, so go check it out. Then we're talking about a new single from the band Bring Me the Horizon. Fairly new band. This single, though, has a couple of guest vocalists on it that are kind of rather interesting. First up is Lil Uzi Vert, who is kind of like metal adjacent these days. He just did a cover of Chop Suey that I have yet to listen to, so we'll probably talk about it the next time we're doing such things. But yeah, he's kind of like adjacent to the scene, and it's pretty cool. And then the other guest vocalist on here is a man goes by the name of Daryl Palumbo. Daryl Palumbo sings for two rather noteworthy bands, one of which, Glassjaw, is rather heavy and kind of also a little bit metal adjacent because they're kind of more post-hardcore, post-punk kind of thing. And the other band that Daryl sings for is a band called Head Automatica, which is dancecore. Nothing that's really in this vein of music, but still really good. If you haven't listened to them, go check them out. But the name of this song is Amen. Again, Bring Me the Horizon. Not a huge Bring Me the Horizon fan, but this one does a lot of really good things. Just the incorporation of both of these guest vocalists really goes a long way. Palumbo's voice always is a win. Dude just cannot sing bad notes. And then the addition of Lil Uzi Vert very much feels organic. So like, absolutely, if you haven't listened to this song, go check it out. This might change your mind on who Bring Me the Horizon is. Or it might just be another track you don't want to skip next time it comes on your playlist. Either way, it's worth listening to, so go check it out. Next up, we have a new single from the band Three Teeth. This one is called Scorpion. It is the newest single from Three Teeth. So this is another band where I really had a sound in my head that I thought I remembered for who they were, and then I listened to this new single, and either I am misremembering it, which is entirely likely, or they have changed their sound fairly significantly, which I don't think is as likely. But this is totally a listenable tune. I struggle to classify, I guess is the way to go, to classify it as far as genre goes. I saw somebody in the comments section talk about how these guys are the saviors of industrial metal, and I don't feel like that's an accurate description for their sound, but it does. There are definitely industrial-like elements, like they have a keyboard player, and so there's that kind of layer to it, and it's a fairly simplistic riff, so there's that element to it that it shares with industrial, but I don't know, there's just something, it feels like industrial light. If you want to put like Laibach or Rammstein as your litmus test for what is industrial metal, then yeah, I don't think that these guys would necessarily qualify. They're kind of more active rock metal with industrial influences, I guess is probably appropriate. But that's kind of an epithet because active rock is kind of stupid, but this is listenable. This is actually pretty damn good. I totally enjoyed this track in spite of its active rock nature, so you should probably go check it out as well. Then we have Falling in Reverse. Falling in Reverse, not a band I listen to regularly. We've talked about them previously. We reacted to the Zombified rather, single that they put out a few months back, probably about a year ago now, I believe. And the kind of Ronnie Radke just kind of does things that I think are great for the community, and then also does things that I think are a hindrance for the community. See previous discussion on having backing tracks at a live metal show. Falling Reverse just did a cover almost of Last Resort from Papa Roach, and this is like strangely poignant, definitely not heavy at all. This is not even a nu metal cover. This is a straight balladized version of Last Resort. Ronnie Radke is a hell of a composer. I will definitely give him that much credit, and has a fantastic voice. I don't understand why he decided to hide it behind all of the effect. There's definitely a lot of like auto-tune going on in here that is unnecessary because you're really hiding behind effects when you don't need to. Your voice is strong long enough to carry this song. You could have just done it strictly acoustic and been 10 times better for it. Either way, it's pretty great, honestly, and it's a weird thing to say for me, so go check it out, I think. And our final track this week is a very interesting combination of artists. The main artist on here is a band called The Who, not from the 70s and the 60s and whatnot. Not that Who. This is the new Who, the HU Who. The band from China, I'm pretty sure is where they're from, who sing in Cantonese, Mongolian, something. And they're usually doing like the throat singing and the crazy awesome, and it's like this traditional style vocal with traditional musical instruments, and then also like metal elements thrown in there. And The Who is just very intriguing and very awesome in a lot of ways. And then the guest vocalist on here is a vocalist by the name of LP. Now LP is an XX. Let's say that, I guess, is safe. I think LP identifies with they them pronouns, so that's about as much time as we're going to give that. But LP has an amazing voice. I don't care what your personal politics are. If you like music and you can set silly things like that aside, objectively, LP has an amazing voice. It's all of the political nonsense that kind of detracts from the music, which is unfortunate, because these two entities together just is such a weird combination that it works in so many ways that don't make any sense. The biggest one of those is the fact that their personal politics, as far as I understand them, are very much in opposition. So it's kind of awesome in that regard as well, because these two very different groups of people can come together and make this amazing piece of music. I don't know if I mentioned it yet. The name of the song is Mother Nature, and if you don't know who either of these artists are, this is a pretty good introduction to both of them, though do understand that they start to veer pretty hard apart from one another the deeper into their catalogs you get. But either way, fantastic song. 100% would recommend anybody listening to this go check it out, and that's what we got for new music. From there, let's talk about tours and festivals, shall we? So we have an updated tour announcement, technically, even though somehow this one flew under the radar, and then by the time I actually found out about it, it had been announced for about a month, so we didn't talk about it. But there's been an update to it, so now we get to talk about it, because it's actually one of my favorite bands. Protest the Hero is going out on tour this October, and it's actually, I believe it starts in September, if I'm remembering correctly. No, the first date is October 12th, and it runs through November 17th. So Protest the Hero, it's a Halloween-themed tour. They just added the Callous Dowboys to the lineup, so I kind of have to go now, don't I? I was very much questioning whether or not I was going to do this, because it happens to be, on a day that might not be very easy for me to get off of work, but either way, the Callous Dowboys now, it's my opportunity to catch them live and with one of my favorite bands of all time. I have to go. I'm gushing too much. It starts, like I said, October 12th, Detroit, Michigan, runs through once again November 17th in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and links to tickets exist down in the description. Go check out that if you're interested, because why wouldn't you be? From there, we do have a brand new tour announcement that was made over the last week, and that is Lorna Shore. Full and proper new tour added to Lorna Shore once they are done with the Gojira Mastodon tour they are currently on, which is going to be epic. If you don't already have your tickets, you should probably go to that one as well. But Lorna Shore going out solo, headlining over the top of Rivers of Nile, Ingested, and Distant in Europe. So this is not going to be a North American tour. This is going to be a European tour. It begins November 5th in Netherlands, then Bosch, the Rock Circus. I don't know what that all means, but there you go. And it runs through December 12th in Germany, Oberhausen, Turbinenhalle. I think I said that right, but somebody correct me, please. But that is what we have for tours and festivals, so let's jump over to regular-ass news. We have one piece of regular-ass news, and that is Halo Effect. The band, we've actually talked about them extensively on the show before. They have been working on their second record. It's been rather quick. They wasted no time. It feels like they went on a European tour, then a US tour, and then jumped right into the studio because they're finishing up album number 2 now. They have officially announced that they have completed the mixing portion of their, so now it's just mastering and then release. So we're going to be seeing this sometime before the end of the year. They haven't given us a proper release date just yet, but it's coming soon, so stay tuned. We will be following up. From there, that's the only piece of regular ass news. So let's talk music suggestion for the week. This one was actually, took me a second to find something that I feel like is great and not a lot of people are aware of, and that is the Human Abstract's version of Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven. Yes, this is, I believe this is the final thing that Human Abstract recorded as a band before they broke up, so it's noteworthy for that in that respect. It's also noteworthy because it is very much like a deathcore style Beethoven cover. Like it's a something along the lines of 15 minutes long if you listen to all 3 movements, and 100% worth your time. Why are you still listening to me speak? Go listen to that. That's much more interesting. Once again, this is just the music section. There is a much longer show called The Week in Nerddom over on the main channel, youtube.com/genuinenerdy. Go check out the entire show or just subscribe here and do all of the things. Appreciate your faces, nerds. Before we go though, always remember that if it's genuinely nerdy, it's probably here